As I opened my eyes, I realized I had no idea where I was. Hello?
All right, all you Belmore Manor ghosts and ghouls, let's take it to a place where voodoo rules. Foolish mortal, do you know what you've done? A house of spirits, but we know of one with evil intentions, and now no preventions to all their evil scheme. You're now implicated in this complicated supernatural dream. You cast the spell, now the deed is done. Evil's free, the plan has just begun. Without your detection, we'll have no protection from the Machiavellian game. You set them loose, so you have to deduce who is ill and who is to blame. And self-attested, we'll ask you questions 3. Draw on clues to solve the mystery. The lover, the poor, the devil, or God. Questions surrounded in doubt. The officer bride, the sailor, or guide, Murphy. Can you figure it out? Can you figure it out? The broken heart stolen by another. Tell us now, who is the lover?
I think the sailor was the lover.
Someone in love, and their love is true. Is it return? What is there to do? They're caught in the middle of baffling riddles. Is love what can carry them through? The sunset life, no chance for dawn. Tell us now, who is the pawn?
I think the bride was the pawn.
A bride in love, but in some evil curse, immersed in voodoo and things perverse. She cannot protest, and her mind's not possessed of things that only get worse. Wicked spirits in evil revel. Tell us now, who is the devil?
I think the officer was the devil.
A phantom figure who's now in control. Black magic powers got things he stole. But maybe it's setback, but he's gonna get back, and we'll worry that goes, now let's go. Happy you listened and now you've done it. You took a gamble and you have won it. A bride in a spell and a sailor's farewell, and an officer pulling the strings. A hostage filled with voodoo, and yes, we know like you do. To fix it, we'll take some strange things. To test it, we asked you questions 3. You drew clues and solved the mystery. The officer, bride, and the sailor all died. Questions surrounded in doubt. The lover, the pawn, the devil or gone. Murphy, you figured it out. And yes, you must. The foolish boss, find treasures trapped in hidden vaults. You may think you are done, but it's all just begun. It's time for the ghostly debut. So say trick or treat, 'cause there's a goal to defeat. And Murphy, we hope that you do. Or guess what? You'll have to die too. started act 2.
I was back in Belmore Manor, and although it was better than being dead, I didn't know what was awaiting me.
Who wanders to this ghostly trick? The prey that prays it will be quick. Do not blame that final try, for once he's in, he's sure to die.
Another ghost? Oh, this can't be good.
Welcome back to Belmore Manor, Mr. McCallan. My name is Cordelia Lockett. I do hope I haven't scared you.
To be honest, I've had my fill of ghosts for today. Perhaps I should be running along.
I'm afraid you'll need to come with me. There is someone you need to meet.
Who?
Miss Belmore.
You know, I don't think that would be such a great idea. We met twice already this evening, and I don't think she's taken much of a liking to me. What with throwing me off a balcony and pulling me into a spirit pool. Attempt to kill me once? Shame on you. Attempt to kill me twice? Shame on me, you know? I'll just go. It'll be like I was never here.
It's too late for that, Mr. McCallan. I really must insist.
What have I gotten myself into?
Miss Belmore, Mr. McCallan is here to see you.
I don't see anyone. I'm terribly sorry, Miss Belmore. I wasn't trying to steal from you. I didn't know anybody was still here. And then I've gotten deeper into things than I expected, and Miss Belmore? Why isn't she saying anything? Why is she crying?
This is all terribly exciting, isn't it? I'm afraid there's much more to this than you realize, Mr. McCallan.
Can she even hear me?
I don't think so, but keep trying to talk to her anyway.
What happened to her?
I can tell you all that I know, if you're brave enough to hear it.
I hope I am.
I was there on that night, all those years ago. And it wasn't Miss Belmore who was to blame. The morning of the wedding, Mr. Rackham left a gift on Miss Belmore's dresser. A small leather pouch with strange beads and strange markings. I shouldn't have been looking, but I saw her open it. It was black magic. Everyone had heard the rumours about Mr. Rackham, but I saw it with my own eyes. Miss Belmore panicked. She threw the pouch into her music box, slammed down the lid to lock it, and threw the brooch into the fireplace. But it was too late. She was losing herself. I could see it in her eyes. Minutes later, she asked me to bring her fiancé to her room. It's bad luck to see the groom before the ceremony. She told him she didn't love him, but I don't think it was her speaking. He begged, he pleaded, his heart broke in two. He was devastated. I saw him head up the staircase to the balcony overlooking the garden. But oh dear, I didn't know what he was going to do. That evening, her wedding to that evil Mr. Rackham began, but it didn't go the way he had planned. Just before Miss Belmore's lips formed the words, "I do," I could see the forces battling inside her. The real love within her resisting the forged compulsion of Mr. Rackham's curse, staring into eyes that were not those of her true love. And that battle of good and evil exploded. Just like that, everyone in the house was gone, trapping us as ghosts to remain here forever. For more than 30 years she's been like this, her mind trapped in an eternal battle between the true love in her heart and the evil magic trying to control her. More than 30 years of never-ending heartbreak. And while Miss Belmore is trapped in torment, do you realize what you've done? You've summoned all the ghosts in the house, including Mr. Rackham, that manipulator, that occultist, that devil, the cause of Miss Belmore's suffering. He's once again free to pursue his evil deeds, because you released him.
If Abigail is under a spell, how is she able to attempt to kill me twice?
Well, it's never happened before. Maybe she's losing the fight against Mr. Rackham's curse, and the evil inside her is growing more powerful. Oh dear, it's almost too terrible to think about, isn't it?
Why is Rackham doing all this? What does he want?
He's after the same thing you are, the Belmore treasure. But he's willing to do a lot more to get it. And he doesn't care who gets hurt in the process. I'd say he's a lot more committed than you are.
I have to do something. How can we stop him?
I'm afraid I don't rightly know, but Miss Belmore might. She managed to break out of the spell once, just at the moment of the explosion when Mr. Rackham tried to carry out the wedding. Perhaps if you take her back to that moment, she might be able to break out of it again. To do that, you'll need to create a love antidote to Mr. Rackham's curse.
How can I create a love antidote?
Look in the mirror. In this reflection, she's as happy as she was on the morning of her wedding. And look, there in front of her, 4 wedding mementos and the echoed music of the wedding march, each one a touchstone of that final happy time. If you could gather those 5 things, perhaps we might bring her back to the moment she escaped the spell, even if just for a moment. There's something else you should know. Mrs. Craddock, the housekeeper, has announced that all wedding preparations are to resume upon the orders of Mr. Rackham. He plans to repeat the wedding tonight. You don't have long.
But what if I break her out of the spell and she is evil now?
I think you'll just have to take that risk.
Maybe I should go. Try to find someone who knows more about this.
Oh, don't you know? You're just as trapped within this house as any of us ghosts. Try the windows, try the doors. We all have 1,000 times. But it's no use. If you want to escape, she's your only hope.
That can't be true. I haven't died. I can't be trapped here forever like you.
In moonlight's glow, a spectral cell, and whispers of an eerie spell. No one hears his silent shout, for once he's in, he can't get out.
No amount of force or technique or desperate longing would open the door. Cordelia was right. I was trapped. And as I looked around at the house that held me, I felt both dead and alive at the same time. Both awake and in a dream, or a nightmare. The only way I could possibly free myself was to gather the 5 items to awaken the Ghost Bride, perhaps giving her a third and final opportunity to kill me.
You can't have that. I might be needing it later.
I didn't need to move the cart. Crisp, clean sheets were stacked up on the cart. looked behind the curtains. The contrast between the bride and her reflection was clear. While the bride in front of me buried her face in sadness, her reflection was clearly at the dawn of the happiest day of her life. If only she knew what was to come. It was a simple gold ring. The mirror's reflection showed a wedding band, one of the items I needed to bring to Abigail. A piece of wedding cake could be seen in the mirror, one of the items I needed to bring to Abigail. In the mirror, I could see a bridal bouquet, one of the items I needed to bring to Abigail. As I concentrated on the phonograph in the mirror, it began to sound like I could hear its music through the reflection itself. It was the wedding march. Now wasn't the time for...
Coming! Miss Belmore, did you...
With the maid distracted, I was free to take the feather duster. I considered picking up a sheet and draping it. I didn't need to move the cart. Whoa! As I rounded the corner of the balcony, I saw that the walkway had dropped away, the mortar crumbling after decades of neglect. The ground was a long way down. I assessed whether the railing would be safe to climb. With the slippery ironwork and crumbling masonry, the answer was obviously no, but I didn't have the luxury of safety. Here goes nothing. Hauling myself onto the roof from the ornamental railings, I realized there was no easy path to get higher. The roof tiles ranged from loose and dangerous to soggy and dangerous. Either way, I wasn't going to be able to climb them. As I approached a lightning rod, I started to feel the hair on the back of my neck standing up. That was a close one. Fortunately, the lightning bolt had hit the lightning rod instead of me, breaking it from its socket and sending the rod tumbling to the ground below. It looked like someone had already intended to start fixing the roof. I looked inside the toolbox and took the only thing it held, a rusty old pair of pliers. There was nothing I could do with the empty socket. With a spark of inspiration that worried even me, I decided to test whether I could improvise a replacement for the lightning rod, breaking all manner of building codes in the process. It was an old pair of pliers. I definitely didn't have the natural balance needed to walk across the cable unaided. The two sea deities stared at me with disapproving eyes. I didn't know what I could have done to disappoint a statue. It was a painting of the gazebo I recognized from the cliff top.
You, boy! Are you one of the staff? Is the wedding ready to begin?
Ready to begin? Goodness gracious, but I haven't found my Bible.
Sorry, I'm just a guest too. I don't think the wedding's happening until later tonight. Or not at all, if everything went to plan.
Just enough time for another drink, then.
It was a lone glass sitting on the coffee table. It certainly hadn't been holding coffee. Good evening.
Hello, my child.
Oh, don't get him going again.
And what is your name?
Murphy McCallan.
Hello, Murphy. I am Father Foskett, spiritual shepherd of St. Juniper's Parish. Have you seen the good book?
I'm not the most religious person, but I have read parts.
No, I mean that rather more literally. I've lost my Bible and have no idea where I put it. Have you seen it?
I haven't, I'm afraid.
Pity.
Are you here for the wedding?
I am officiating the wedding. With everything that's gone on in the house, we must thank God we have someone like me to keep us on a righteous path.
I've been told that Abigail Belmore doesn't really want to marry Rackham. You need to call the wedding off.
We shall stick to the system, young Mr. McCallan. Objections should be heard during the ceremony, not before, when all parties may articulate their feelings on the matter. These things are greater than you and I, you know. Until then, we must treat the wedding as the joyous occasion it is.
What do you think of Abigail Belmore?
A little headstrong, in my opinion, but a lovely young lady. I baptized her, you know. She grabbed my nose as I held her over the font, right up the left nostril. Wouldn't let go until her brothers distracted her with a teddy bear. Still, she's a very caring girl.
Just not two ecclesiastical noses. Is St. Juniper's your church?
That's right, young man. A beacon of godliness on an otherwise spiritually desolate isle.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think St. Juniper's been taken over by rum runners.
Criminals? In my church? Good God! They must be removed immediately.
Let's not be too hasty. They sound like my type of gentleman. That's the type of church I can see myself attending.
I could do with less of your opinions, thank you. Many things can be preserved in alcohol, Colonel. Dignity is not one of them.
I'm not the most well-read on religion, but shouldn't you be in heaven now?
Gold standard question, my boy.
Well, I'll admit this isn't what I expected.
Perhaps the good book has some missing passages.
I think we can do without your theological input, Colonel.
Is there a way to fix it?
Well, that's precisely what I'm doing, young man, as we speak.
It looks like you're just sitting in an armchair.
You don't see the metaphorical cogs whirring around in my head, the tick and the tock of the thanatological matters in my mind. To the layman, I might appear to be just sitting in an armchair, but in reality, I am studying the Bible, or at least I would be, if I hadn't lost it.
You've lost it, all right.
Do you think it might be voodoo keeping you here?
Voodoo is nothing but mumbo-jumbo misdirection. I fear we may be in limbo. Some devilish force has interrupted the supernatural order of things.
I think Rackham might be practicing black magic.
That is an extraordinary accusation. I refuse to hear another word of it. He is a God-fearing man who always attends the sailor services, and he has donated generously to the church and my vacation fund. The culprit here is that awful sailor Abigail was going to marry. It is precisely because Miss Belmore's marriage to Mr. John Rackham was interrupted that we are still here. And why we must continue the wedding as planned tonight. It shall be our way out.
I best be heading off.
God be with you.
Good evening.
Good evening, my boy. I'm afraid you'll have to speak up. Old army injury, you see. Care to join me for a drink?
Colonel Bloom, how many times must I warn you about your predilection for hard drinking?
It's not hard drinking. It's very easy. What do you say, my boy? You care for a nip?
I probably shouldn't. I'm a little preoccupied at the moment.
Well, don't go saving it for the toast. You'll be waiting decades.
See? This is what I was talking about. This is the kind of ungracious, ungentlemanly behavior that will spell your doom, Colonel.
Stop trying to threaten me with eternal damnation, Foskett. If it was going to happen, it would have happened by now. I'm pretty sure I'm dead at this moment, and I don't see any evidence of women playing harps. Just you harping on at me.
Did you see much action in the army?
I killed 4 men.
From food poisoning, Colonel Bloom's title is an honorary one for services to catering.
The Cattle King is what they called me. I owned farms from New Orleans to Tallahassee. Beef, leather, dairy. It was a roaring trade.
Or at least a mooing one.
Those cows, they were my army. I tell you, everything a man needs can be provided by a good troop of cows.
Herd of cows.
Of course I've heard of cows. I was just talking about them.
What are you drinking, Colonel?
Good hearty rum. It'll put fire on your chest and hair in your belly. Oh, wait.
And perhaps it is time to consider whether you have drunk too much of it, Colonel. Or perhaps give it up altogether.
I could easily give up alcohol. I've already done it hundreds of times.
I think you'll find the time between one glass and the next does not count as teetotalism. Perhaps we should be grateful to the Lord that your glass remains empty.
Are you looking forward to the wedding?
I'm looking forward to it being over. In my opinion, being stood up at the altar for 33 years is a pretty bad sign. Not what strong relationships are made of.
And you should know, Colonel. You've only had hundreds of them.
Do you think the bride and groom should be together?
That Rackham's a slimy character, and no mistake. Oh, by God, he's a good businessman. Trickier than a magician's rabbit that's gotten stuck on a particularly difficult crossword puzzle. But all that don't amount to a hill of beans if you're not enjoying life. I don't know whether to hate the guy or envy him.
Both are sins, I think you'll find, Colonel.
And not even the best ones. Do you know what's wrong with society nowadays, Murphy? Drink, guns, and women. There's just not enough time for them all.
Have you ever married, Colonel?
Oh, yes. I've been married for 47 years.
Yes, but to 9 different women.
It still counts.
His shortest marriage was 2 days, and that's only because they couldn't find him to serve the annulment papers.
I ended up in a bordello in East Nevada with half the members of the Albuquerque Militia Marching Band. Best honeymoon I've been on. Some lovely girls.
Lord forgive him, for he knows not what he does.
That's not what the girls were telling me.
Do excuse me. I'll be back.
At your leisure, my boy. I have nowhere to go and nothing to do.
Idle hands are the devil's playthings.
Try idling your mouth for a change, you old curmudgeon.
I'd previously seen small pots hung in fireplaces like this contained water in order to humidify the room, especially when tobacco was being smoked. In this case, however, the pot was empty. Stepping through the doorway, I found myself in an ethereal black void that stretched in every direction. Draped in green fog, all I could see were staircases floating in all directions, and in the center, an eternally ticking clock.
Is that little whippersnapper playing on the staircases again?
No, it's not him this time. But how that wayward whelp's mother allows him to run riot through that cursed room baffles me. When it comes to Sebastian Pock, I think King Herod might have had a point.
Good evening, Father Foskett.
Hello again, my child.
Where does that staircase room go?
That room is a place of sin.
What happened in there?
When Miss Belmore spurned her original fiancé, that is the route he took to the garden balcony where he hanged himself.
That's terrible.
A terrible sin. Belmore Manor has evil magic coursing through it. I lay at least partial blame on that deplorable act. That room is filled with nothing but impassable evil. It is as though the house itself refuses passage to the bewitched balcony.
Do you know how I can get through the staircase room?
Certainly not. If you had any sense, you would stay out of there. The only person I've seen messing about in there is the page boy. I know that the Lord sends things to challenge us, but even the devil himself would take up early retirement if made to babysit that little monster. Goodness knows where he's gone now, though. I suppose we should all thank God for the respite.
Have you two gentlemen known each other long?
Gentleman's a stretch.
Don't be so hard on yourself, Foskett.
But yes, we've known each other since we were teenagers. We used to be roommates in college. But while I focused on my studies, the Colonel here focused on extracurriculars. I made it my duty to keep him on the straight and narrow path.
And thankfully you haven't done a very good job of it.
I best be...
God be with you.
I needed to be outside if I wanted to reach the tree.
That is an insult to my honor. I didn't know you had any honor left to insult.
Boys, you don't want to be fighting over little old me.
Tallulah, this man is nothing but a scoundrel. Then you, brother, are a no-good fraud.
It was a yellow parasol I thought I should introduce myself first. Good evening, miss.
Oh, another fine young gentleman.
My name's Murphy McCallan. Pleased to meet you all.
Back off, Peanut. Yeah, keep walking. We were talking to the lady first.
Now, boys, we must be welcoming to our new friend. My name is Tallulah LaRue. I expect you've heard of me. My daddy owns the LaRue Oil Exchange. We're the richest family this side of the Mississippi.
But don't be getting any ideas. Tallulah, don't you think this gentleman is a little beneath you? He looks so poor, he probably waves a popsicle around and calls it air conditioning.
Let's not be rude to him just because he's less fortunate. You boys be welcoming and introduce yourselves.
If we must. I am Humphrey Tallulah. And I am Orville Tallulah of the Tallulah Textiles Company.
I think you made the pants I'm wearing. Are those pistols they're holding?
Orville and I rank top of the leaderboard at the Tallahassee Gun Club. Perhaps take that as a warning to back off.
Were you friends with Abigail Belmore?
Friends may be a bit of an exaggeration, but I'd seen her around at the debutante balls before she got engaged to that sailor. I mean, really, what was she thinking?
You don't think they should have gotten engaged?
What's the point? Mr. Rackham was an improvement. I do love the powerful.
What's that in your hand, Miss LaRue?
This is my invitation to the wedding. It allows me to bring one guest with me, but I seem to have made a teensy tiny mistake. I've invited both boys all the way out here to Devil's Rock when I can only take one of them into the wedding. Now, both of these fine fellows are here and want to attend with me, and I just don't know who I should pick.
You mean you two don't have an invitation?
We may not know the Belmores, but we do know this southern magnolia before us. We were brought to Devil's Rock by passion.
I was brought to Devil's Rock by taxi. If you're not using the invitation, perhaps I could take it off your hands?
I don't think so, knucklehead. Miss LaRue is going to need that invitation for when I accompany her. Over my dead body? Have you seen yourself? You're already dead.
These two gentlemen seem pretty heated.
I just hope it doesn't come to blows. I'd be happy to marry either of these gentlemen one day, if only I could choose between them.
If you did end up marrying one of them, would that make your name Tallulah Tallulah?
That's right, and my middle name is Beulah. Rolls right off the tongue, doesn't it?
How are you going to decide who to take to the waltz, Miss LaRue?
I just don't know if I could decide. I think I'll have to leave it to the boys to decide for me.
Choose me, Tallulah. I'm the one who inherited our family's good looks, I assure you.
Good looks. Your reflection hides when you walk past a mirror.
I have the southern elegance she desires.
Elegance? You have all the elegance of a drunken pelican.
I believe the lady would be better suited for a man of my sophistication.
Sophistication? You have all the sophistication of a rodeo clown. It's my bravery that she needs. Bravery? You'd run away from a June bug. If you think yourself so brave, then we must put it to the test. Brother, I challenge you to a duel. Not if I challenge you first.
Gee, I wouldn't want a duel to take place because of little old me. But if that's how things have to be, let's get the guns on the table, boys.
McCallum, you shall be the adjudicator.
I shall?
I'm glad you've agreed.
What exactly does that entail?
In order for the duel to be fair, an independent third party must load the pistols and declare the victor.
But I've never loaded a pistol before.
Don't worry, McCallum. A donkey with a lobotomy could do it. You have at least half a chance.
The instructions read, powder, shot, ramrod, aim, fire. One at a time, I poured the powder into the muzzle of the pistols. I then dropped the shot into each muzzle. Finally, I patted the contents down with the ramrod.
No pussyfooting around here, boys. I want to see some action. If you miss, you're not the man for me. Fire! Well?
I've been hit. Me too.
In any other situation, this would have been a tragedy, but it quickly became clear that a duel to the death wouldn't be conclusive when the duelists were both already dead.
Oh, neither of you missed? Well, sorry, boys, but I think that's a draw. What a terrible waste of everybody's time.
Miss LaRue, would you mind if I borrowed your parasol?
Don't be silly, Murphy. It's a beautiful evening outside.
Didn't you see the lightning?
A parasol's to protect you from the sun, silly. Carry this out in a lightning storm and you might... Actually, go right ahead and take it. You have fun.
The glint in her eye sent a shiver through me. It was a seductive carving of a lamia, half woman, half snake, holding a shield. Inspired by the pistol duel, a plan began to form in my head. With 2 wooden carvings on either side of the room, I could bore a rough hole in each of them. My, look at the carving. All wooden and carved and wooden. Yes, these certainly are some of the most carved pieces of wood I've ever had the privilege of seeing. When I was finished, they looked passably like bullet holes. Would you like a rematch of the pistol duel?
What a wonderful idea! Boys, guns on the table. Murphy, load 'em up.
Without the twins catching on, I ran the button magnet across the mound of bullets and saw they began to wobble. The shot must have been an alloy of lead and something ferrous. Stealthily, I took the button magnet from my pocket and affixed it to the end of the ramrod. With its small size, it could barely be spotted. One at a time, I poured the powder into the muzzle of the pistols. I then dropped the shot into each muzzle. Finally, I patted the contents down with the ramrod. When the ramrod emerged, the magnet I'd attached brought the shot with it. With the prestidigitation of a magician, I dropped it discreetly back into the shot tub. To anyone else, the pistols appeared to be properly loaded.
Remember, boys, if you miss, you're not the man for me. Fire!
I'm not hit. Well, neither am I.
You both missed. Are you sure the pistol's fired?
Look, there's a bullet hole in the carving. And in the carving over there.
So what does that mean? Who lost?
Looks like you both did.
Then who's going to accompany Miss LaRue?
I think the lady's words were, if you miss, you're not the man for me.
But we both missed.
He's right. If you're both losers, I can't take either of you to the wedding. I'm not dating a man that can't shoot straight.
Tallulah, we can talk about this. Give us another chance.
I'm sorry. My mind is made up. Here, Murphy. You can have this. I won't be needing it anymore.
Walking into the cellar, I was hit by the pungent smell of rotting wood and mildew. 3 decades without upkeep hadn't been kind to this section of the house, and it was now knee-deep in floodwater. I needed to use the switch to operate the barrel lift. The wine racks were largely bare. What few bottles remained were cracked and empty. The water was murky and stagnant, even confined to a bottle I didn't want it. I flipped the switch, but nothing happened. It seemed the barrel lift lacked power. I took the handful of candles from on top of the fuse box. The label read, ground. Lightning rods. Barrel lift. The wire had corroded into the fuse. I pulled at the wire with the pliers and managed to dislodge it from the fuse box. With a surge of electricity from the lightning strike, the barrel lift came to life, disappearing into the water, then rising up to the hatch above. So this was how they loaded barrels in and out of the cellar. That didn't work. I flipped the switch and the barrel lift ground to a halt. That wasn't going to work. Good evening, Miss LaRue.
Why, hello again, Murphy.
Where did the Talagula twins head off to?
Ugh, who cares? What a pair of duds they turned out to be. Say, Murphy, you wouldn't happen to be romantically unattached, would you?
Tallulah looked at me like she was homing in on her next prey. She was a killer combination of brains, beauty, and a psychopathic lack of empathy. You know, I'm really not looking for anything like that right now.
Pity.
I best be...
Ta-ta for now.
Good evening. My name is Murphy McAllen.
Pleased to make your acquaintance. Ezra Hughes is the name. Pianist for hire is the game. Got any events coming up that you can use a pianist at? I do weddings, christenings, bar mitzvahs, funerals.
You're still hustling for work? Isn't being a ghost an impediment?
Hey, when you're self-employed, you've got to keep that next paycheck coming in.
But you're trapped in the house.
Well, I admit I'm not normally based here, but Belmore Manor makes a lovely venue.
Do you know where I could get some wedding music?
I take request. It's part of my contract for the wedding. What are you after?
I need some wedding music to play to Abigail Belmore, upstairs in her bedroom.
I might be able to move people with my music, Murphy, but there's no chance I can move this piano up to the second floor.
How's the gig?
It's the gig of a lifetime. Quite literally. I just didn't realize how short that lifetime would be. Still, I should be making out like a bandit at the end of it.
Why's that?
My contract says I charge overtime at time and a half. So far, we're 30-something years past my original end time.
Is there much to spend your money on when you're dead?
They say you can't take it with you. But I don't seem to be going anywhere at the moment, so why not find out?
You don't seem to have much of an audience.
Most have gone through to the ballroom for the waltz. Still, at least it means I don't have the Southern Belle from hell hovering over me.
When you say Southern Belle from Hell, do you mean Tallulah?
That's her, the Black Widow of the Bayou.
What's wrong with her?
Well, she has a reputation, doesn't she?
A reputation for what?
Murder.
Tallulah is a murderess?
Now, don't be getting me caught up in a slander suit, but behind those demure, blush cheeks is the mind of an absolute psychopath. She's been engaged 3 times. Each of her fiancés died in ridiculous circumstances.
Did she murder them for money?
That can't even be the motive. You'd think she'd go ahead and marry them, so all their worldly goods become each other's, right? But her family's already got more money than honeybees got buzz. And she finishes them off before they've even booked a venue. I think she just does it for the thrill.
Someone should really tell her about wing walking. Are you local to Devil's Rock?
No, New Orleans born and bred. Hard to grow up in the Big Easy and not fall in love with this music. Street performers in the French Quarter, brass bands on the balconies, parades at Mardi Gras. It's in the air down there.
So what brought you here?
Work. Figured I'd play a few gigs, make some cash. Next thing I know, I'm caught up in more drama than a Gilbert and Sullivan operetta.
Where did you find musical work here on Devil's Rock?
I got a full season contract down at the Calliope Theater. It was pure luck, really. The original pianist broke his arm.
How?
Before the renovation, that place was falling apart. 14 people in the audience watched as the stage gave out right in the middle of Claire de Lune. Pianist and piano falling straight to the floor into the basement.
Ouch.
Physically, he was fine. Emotionally, devastated for months.
Sounds like he went through a bad stage. Yardley Belmore was a performer too, wasn't he?
And more. Writer, director, producer, philanthropist. He's the one that bought the Calliope, fixed her up, and hired me. Once he came on board, that place got put on real shows.
Real shows?
Yeah, before Yardley put up the funds, they were so broke they had to rely on sponsorships. The final year, Bon Tom Bakery funded everything, with conditions.
Conditions?
The shows had to be on brand. Before Yardley put a stop to it, we were looking at 3 Shakespeare plays that season. Romeo and Baguette, A Midsummer Night's Cream Cake, and Much Ado About Muffins.
Do you know what happened to Yardley Belmore?
I haven't a clue. But you know what? I think I was one of the final people to see him alive.
Oh, really?
He came down to the Calliope to offer me this gig for the wedding, and I overheard him talking to someone backstage after I had finished rehearsing.
What were they talking about?
Well, after Yardley scrapped the baked goods from Romeo and Juliet, he was after ideas to bring something new to the story. This fellow was telling him about a place he'd found, an actual crypt. Such a missed opportunity, really. Can you imagine? Romeo and Juliet's tragic finale, played out in the Capulet tomb, the star-crossed lovers' final doomed moments in a real-life, honest-to-God crypt. The last thing I heard was them setting a date to check it out. And then, well, after that, no one ever saw him again.
Do you know who the man he was talking to was?
Rackham, I think you call him. Don't know where his interest in the theater came from all of a sudden. I'd never seen him in any performances.
I should get going.
See you around, Murphy.
A machine I didn't recognize sat on the table. I wondered if the pianist knew more about it. Without knowing what it was, I didn't want to break it. Good evening, Ezra.
Hello, Murphy.
What's the machine next to your piano?
That's my ticket out of hustling. A phonograph recorder. I'm going to compose and record a hit song. Something that'll sweep the nation, like those guys on Tin Pan Alley. I can record and release a song all across the country, and people will be able to hear me live in their living room.
But you're not live or living.
That'll be how I market myself. Anthems by apparitions, hymns by haunts. The magazines won't give you the time of day if you don't have some way of standing out. If I'm dead, it's better to be composing than decomposing.
How does the machine work?
You just put in a blank record and press record. There's an old one still in there if you want it. It's too worn for me to use anymore. The records have a thin layer of black wax on the outside, and the machine records the sound as grooves in the wax. Keep an ear out for me in a year's time.
I should get going.
See?
To use the recording machine, I needed a record with a fresh layer of wax. I took the record from the recording machine. With its outer coating worn away with age, it wasn't in a state to record onto. The macabre warning was definitely serving a purpose where it was. I decided to leave it there. The wooden sign had the quaint charm of a handmade woodcraft, if it wasn't for the skull and crossbones painted on it.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Why not?
You're still flesh and blood, aren't you?
That's right.
Nothing to be ashamed of. But you'll end up see-through blue like me if one of those thorns nicks you. And don't try cutting them. Even so much as a snap, and it releases a toxin so deadly you'll be on the ground within 3 minutes. Certainly keeps things exciting, doesn't it?
The plants seemed to have developed a mind of their own, spilling out of their flower beds and pots until they filled the conservatory like string lights on a Gothic Christmas tree. Weaving throughout the conservatory was an overgrown mass of intimidating-looking thorns.
Watch out for that vine down there. Little bugger was trying to make a break for it earlier.
Oh, okay. Will do. I didn't have the slightest idea what the gardener was warning me about. Like a snake coiling around its prey, it soon became apparent. Help! Help!
What's all the fuss about?
This vine's got me, it won't let go!
Oh, she likes you, she does.
Well, the sentiment isn't mutual.
I've never seen the plant so attached to someone before.
That's exactly the problem. Its hold is getting tighter. I needed to get away before I was dragged into the flower beds.
Well, you didn't need to do that. I wasn't planning on doing the pruning till tomorrow.
What was that?
Just a Devil's Rock creeper. They do seem to have gotten a lot more active since I was last tending the garden, though.
First, the animals on this island had tried to eat me. Now, I was finding out the plants wanted a nibble too. Good evening.
Pleasure to meet you, young man. I'm Rupert Riddle. I'm the gardener for the Belmore Estate. And whom do I have the pleasure of meeting?
Murphy McCallan, pleased to meet you.
Do excuse the state of the conservatory. After 30-odd years without so much as a pruning or watering, it's taken on a mind of its own. Don't be telling the Horticultural Society or I'll be having my golden trowel taken off me.
You've won awards for your gardening?
Oh yes. This conservatory is rather famous. Welcome, Murphy, to the Poison Garden.
Poison? Why would the Belmore brothers want a poison garden?
Academic interests, prestige, and morbid curiosity, I should think. Master Cecil liked to study them. Master Xavier used to collect them on his expeditions. And Master Yardley, well, he just liked the theatricality of it all.
Isn't it dangerous?
Well, it all depends on how you use it, doesn't it? A few berries of deadly nightshade could kill a person, or cure their headache. Hemlock killed Socrates, but I used it to treat my arthritis. These plants may be dangerous, but that's because they're powerful and mysterious.
From medicine to murder.
Exactly. The power to heal and the power to kill. That's what makes them so interesting.
Remind me never to get on the bad side of a florist. What's the secret to growing your garden?
Plants need the same things as you and me, they do. Food, water, sunlight, and someone to chitter-chatter with.
You talk to your plants?
And sing.
What kinds of songs do poisonous plants like?
Vaudeville, mainly. Ta-ra-ra-boom-de-ay always goes down a treat. Ta-ra-ra-boom-de-ay. I'm with plants all the day. To sing's the only way to grow my shrub display. Vegetation brings elation to me.
That's quite an accent you've got. Where are you from?
Jolly old England, just outside Bristol. God's own country. The green and pleasant land where my love of horticulture bloomed. I caught the gardening bug at an early age, you see. Histoplasmosis. I was in hospital for 8 months, all told. But trapped in those 4 wipe-clean antiseptic walls, staring at a pot of plastic philodendrons, why, it just grew my love of all things botanical.
Why did you move to Devil's Rock?
I came over with the Belmores, didn't I? Got myself a little cottage on the edge of the estate near the mausoleum. Bugger if I can get to it now, though. Shame, too.
Why's that? Do you miss home?
Oh, I think I left the gas on. Wouldn't want an accident now, would I? Could be the death of me.
What are you working on at the moment?
I suppose I ought to be pushing up daisies. But death isn't going to stop these green fingers. So I'm getting right back into it where I left off, tending to these plants. It's not quite the same as it used to be, I must admit.
How so?
I suppose, being dead now, they've lost some of their allure. It used to be that one prick of the finger, one wipe of the nose, one accidental inhalation of a seed, and that would be the end of it. Things just aren't as exciting anymore.
Will you be attending the wedding?
Me? Get an invitation? I'm not sure overalls would meet the dress code. But it's a good thing, too. I wouldn't trust that Rackham with a hosepipe on a hot day.
Why not?
Well, it's not like me to tell tales. But it wasn't long before the Belmore brothers started to disappear that Rackham was in here asking about the poison plants. Very suspicious timing, if you ask me.
You think he murdered them?
I couldn't possibly say.
I need a bouquet. Can you help me?
I'm a gardener, not a flower arranger, Murphy.
Is there anything in here I can take without it killing me?
I'm afraid the only non-poisonous plants were those down in Abigail's flower bed. She had her own little area that I used to help her with. There's only that one flower that stayed alive in the whole conservatory. Funny that.
What's funny about it?
That's the same flower bed Abigail used for her bouquet the night things went awry.
That'll be perfect. Is there a way to get rid of the thorns?
Oh, certainly. A good drenching with alcohol should kill them off.
Thanks for your time.
Before you go, you wouldn't do me a favor, would you?
What kind of favor?
Well, I was just wondering how that flesh and blood thing is working out for you.
Excuse me?
It's just, and I don't mean to impose, but my eternal frustration is that I have 187 different ways to die in this conservatory, but I was never able to test any of them out. Now that we've all discovered death isn't quite so conclusive, I was wondering if you'd want to help out.
Help out how?
Well, we could test out some of the plants on you.
They'd kill me!
Fingers crossed.
The dainty old man's eyes glowed with unrestrained excitement at the mention of murder. His dottery demeanor offered a complete contrast to his apparently homicidal tendencies. He was like a tortoise holding a machine gun.
Now, don't make such a drama out of it. We could put it in a nice pie, and maybe some herbal tea. I know the recipe for a lovely cobbler.
Definitely not. Let's cross that possibility out right now.
I was only asking. Maybe let me know if you change your mind.
I couldn't see anything I could do with the statue. It was an ornately crafted metal statue of a Maharaja prince, with one hand outstretched and the other clasping a scroll case. The fountain had long run dry and the cracked, dusty basin was empty. I dropped the candles into the empty pot hanging in the fireplace. They soon began to melt and bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble.
Goodness gracious! That isn't more satanic sorcery, is it?
I'm sorry, I was just quoting Macbeth.
Well, don't.
Carefully, I dipped the record into the molten candle wax. Once pulled out, the thin layer of wax rapidly cooled, leaving me with a blank, reset record. I picked up the vase. From the delicate porcelain and hand-painted ornamentation, it looked like it must have been worth a fortune. Ming Dynasty, perhaps?
Foskett, why is that young man picking up that chamber pot?
I have absolutely no idea.
Or perhaps not. With extraordinary fortune, the porcelain chamber pot fitted neatly into the decorative ironwork of the barrel lift. I flipped the switch and the barrel lift started up again. Held by the barrel lift, the chamber pot plunged beneath the surface, scooping up the murky floodwater, then carrying it to the ground level hatch above. With time, the jury-rig machine began bailing the cellar like a sailor trying to save a sinking dinghy. I turned the spigot, and rum began to pour out. If I wanted some, I needed something to carry it in. With the bottle positioned beneath it, I turned the spigot. The grotesque face began spewing out rum like it was 2 a.m. on Bourbon Street. Now that I had my contraption working, I thought I'd leave the barrel lift running, just in case the cellar started to flood again. Can I top you off, Colonel?
Oh, excellent. What do you have there?
Belmore rum, aged 33 years.
Wonderful. Fill her up. I much prefer rum to that hoity-toity champagne they serve. Rum is a man's drink. I'll save this for the toast later.
Do you think that's a good idea, Colonel?
I certainly do. You know, Foskett, I've had about enough of your sanctimonious prattling. I try to sit here and enjoy myself, and all I hear is the droning of a long-winded clergyman.
I'm not droning. You just don't like to face the truth. My sanctimonious prattling, as you so ungratefully call it, is all that stands between your unrighteous life and a subsequent consignment to the fiery gates.
You know, that must be it. It's a revelation, an epiphany. All these years I've been thinking I've been in limbo, wondering why I haven't moved on to the pearly gates or the raging fires, and now I've realized.
What have you realized?
I must be in hell right now, and listening to you is my torture. Well, that's it. I can't bear any more. There! Now I can't hear a word you say.
Infantile.
Well, I should certainly hope she does.
refilled the bottle, but as the rum neared its neck, the flow turned to dribbles. That must have been the last of it. Ezra, I reset the record.
Nice one, Murphy. Drop it in the recording machine and I can play a piece for you to record. An Ezra Hughes exclusive.
I placed the freshly reset record back on the recording machine. Excuse me, Ezra, could you play the wedding march?
A request? Sure thing, Murphy.
Thank you very much. I clicked off the machine and picked up the newly recorded record. I emptied the rum onto the thorns and waited. There was only one rose left. I needed to be more delicate than ripping it out of the flower bed. That wasn't going to... Delicately, I cut the stem and picked up the last rose in the house.
Hold it right there. The dance is about to begin. I shall deal with you afterwards. The skill, the movement, the passion. It certainly gets the blood pumping. Now then, do you have an invitation?
An invitation?
To the waltz. This celebration is only for wedding guests. We have all manner of help running around the house who certainly aren't invited to the festivities. Imagine the smell. If you want to come in, you'll need to retrieve it. Rules are rules, and it's my job to enforce them. I am Mrs. Elaine Craddock, housekeeper of Belmore Manor. Who are you, anyway?
Murphy McCallan. I'm just a visitor.
Evidently.
You know, it's funny, I completely forgot I had the invitation on me the whole time. It's these vest pockets. They're much bigger than they look. Seriously, you wouldn't believe the number of things I've been carrying around with me tonight.
You have an invitation?
It'd be rude not to show my face.
Are you absolutely sure about that? I'm sure our guests could survive without beholding the sight of your singular visage. You see, as the housekeeper, it is my job to ensure that only guests of the highest class are in attendance.
How kind of you to think so highly of me.
Look, just don't try burping the alphabet or announcing when you're going to the lavatory. Please, keep clear of the dance floor!
Walking around the upstairs mezzanine, I found myself in a small balcony overlooking the dance floor, where a tabletop of placards had been set out. At the side, a board marked dance steps looked like it would hold the placards in a chosen order, directing the dance below. All I had to do was set it up, then ring the bell. The dancers moved around the dance floor like clockwork soldiers, directed by the moves on the board, and with their movements, the cart holding the wedding cake could be pushed around too. There was already a cart in that slot. There wasn't much I could do with the tabletop except use it to lay out the dance cards. There was already a cart. There wasn't much I... There... Heading down from the mezzanine, I saw what I was after. The cake cart had been pushed off the dance floor and into reach. If Mrs. Craddock saw me cutting the cake, I was pretty sure I'd end up being the next thing the knife was used on. While Mrs. Craddock rubbed her temples, I had a moment of opportunity. I knew I wasn't supposed to cut the cake if I wasn't the groom, but these were unusual circumstances.
Did you just touch the wedding cake?
Certainly not. I was just admiring it.
I should hope so. If I catch you with so much as a crumb on your fingers, you will be in serious trouble.
Haha, the look on your face.
What are you doing? Oh, you could have scared me to death.
Imagine how cool that would be.
I don't think I'd be very happy about that.
baby. Who are you, anyway?
My name's Murphy McCallan. I'm a guest. Who are you?
I'm Sebastian Pop.
The little boy puffed out his chest with a grin that would make the Cheshire Cat jealous. What were you doing in the trunk?
Playing hide and seek. That stuffy old vicar challenged me to a game and hasn't found me in more than 33 years.
Don't you know it's dangerous to shut yourself up in places like that? You could have gotten locked in.
Well, it's funny you say that, actually. I think the latch closed on me while I was inside. Still, what's the worst that could happen? I'm already dead.
What are you looking so pleased about?
I'll have a new toy to play with later tonight. A brand new Guggenhauser Model 5 wind-up tin boat. I'm going to play with it in the bathtub down the hall.
That's funny. I know a little girl who accidentally got one of those for her birthday today.
Yeah, funny that.
The boy pulled an expression that made him look slicker than a politician in an oil spill. This is a long shot, but do you know Mallory Wisp?
Sure, I know Princess Stink.
She was getting a tin boat too.
I know. I swapped over the pages in the toy catalogue, so she ordered the wrong thing. She'll get fed up with it, and I'll get to play with it instead.
Well, that wasn't a nice thing to do.
Nice guys finish last. That's what my father says.
How are you and Mallory able to talk? You're a ghost and she's...
A flesh bag.
Right.
A blood pumper, an air guzzler, a bone puppet, a muscle wriggler.
Hey, I get the idea. How come you can talk to her?
Children aren't so close-minded, I guess. Plus, she's the only person brave enough to come up to the house.
Are you here for the wedding?
Do you think I dress like this for fun? I look ridiculous.
I thought you might be the mayor of Munchkinland.
My mum made me dress like this. What's your excuse?
I heard some of the other ghosts talking about a boy playing in the staircase room. That was you, wasn't it?
Sure was. How did you know?
In truth, the description of wayward whelp was the giveaway. But as long as Sebastian knew something I didn't, I needed to contain my annoyance. Lucky guess. Do you know how to get through the staircase room?
Oh, sure. I know every route in this house. You've got to be as good at hide and seek as I am. I bet I could beat you without even leaving this room.
Sebastian, I really need to get through the staircase room. Could you tell me how to do it?
Well, are you any good at hide and seek?
Excuse me?
Because I could tell you how to get through the staircase room. If you can beat me, hider or seeker, I'd beat you at either.
You hide, I'll seek.
Great. Eyes closed and count 5 Mississippis. I won't even leave the room.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. Ready or not, here I come. Are you behind the curtain?
Boo! Too easy. I just wish this was more of a challenge.
Hello, Sebat.
Back for a rematch?
You must be cheating.
How could I cheat?
I don't know, you're a ghost. Can't you dematerialize or something?
This isn't a bedtime story, you know. I may be a ghost, but I still touch things just like you.
Do you know the man in the portrait behind you?
I don't want to look at it. Gives me the creeps.
It's John Rackham, isn't it?
Shh! Mum says we're not allowed to say his name.
What do you know about Rackham?
I don't want to talk about it.
You know something, don't you?
I can't tell you. I'd get in trouble.
I won't say a word.
Cross your heart and hope to die?
That's ironic, given the circumstances, but sure.
We came to the house a few months before the wedding was supposed to happen. My dad's a lawyer for the Belmore Trading Company. A real important one. But oh boy, is that stuff boring. I was sneaky around, you know, just exploring the house. And I saw him, that man. He was talking to one of the Mr. Belmores. The one that wore the white coat.
Cecil Belmore, the scientist?
Yeah, he said he was going to his laboratory, but where it was hidden was a secret. I thought I could follow him.
Did you have any luck?
Not really, because I wasn't the first. That man, he was following him too, in secret. I kind of got too scared to keep going once I saw him.
What scared you?
I saw something. I saw something the scary man was carrying.
What was he carrying?
A dagger.
You hide, I'll seek.
Great. Eyes closed and count 5
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. Ready or not, here I come.
Boo! Better luck next.
Hello, Sebastian.
Bet for a...
You seek.
You're on. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. 3 Mississippi. 4 Mississippi. 5 Mississippi. Ready or not?
I didn't want to interrupt his counting.
Found you.
Goody for you.
You didn't even make it hard. Maybe
Hello, Sebastian.
bet for a rematch?
You hide, I'll seek.
Great. Eyes closed and count 5 Mississippis. I won't even leave the room.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi. Ready or not, here I come. I wonder who's behind this curtain.
What? How'd you find me?
Maybe you're not the best at this after all.
You cheated. You tied that string to me.
Don't be a sore loser. You never specified in the rules that it wasn't allowed. Now about that route through the staircase room.
Grown-ups are tricky. Here, this'll tell you how to do it. Cheetah, cheetah, pumpkin eater.
I almost felt bad. Almost. Because when I looked at the document, I was sure I'd been swindled. What I'd been given wasn't a blueprint of the house, but a wedding schedule scribbled on in colored crayon. It was a wedding schedule for this As a child, I'd once watched a traveling circus act calling himself the Great Balancerio amble his way across a high wire with only a parasol to keep him steady. With absolutely zero practice and infinitely more chance of death, it was now my turn to try it. Oh well, here goes. Whoa, oh, oh, oh! That was a close one. While I may have lost the parasol, I did have one thing on Balancerio. I accomplished my stunt without having to wear a leotard. As I placed my hands on the trunk, I saw something out of the corner of my eye. Spiders. Dozens of them. I may have been battling supernatural forces of evil, but the forces of evil didn't have 8 legs, fangs, and the ability to jump on me. I needed to clear the spider webs away if I was going to get into that trunk. Using the feather duster, I began sweeping away the spiders and their webs from a relatively safe distance. Now that it was free of spiders, I opened the trunk. Searching through the trunk, I found blankets, bedding, tablecloths, and tucked up in the corner, a delicate lace veil. It was an ornate wedding veil made of delicate lace. The face reminded me of a man I used to buy milk from. From the neck up, he looked like an Italian nobleman. From the neck down, he'd wear denim dungarees and nothing else. It probably wasn't the same guy. Looking through the telescope, all I could see was a blur. I soon realized why. A telescope without a lens wasn't going to be much use. It was a wedding. Head still spinning, I passed through the final door of the staircase room with the realization that I'd followed the final steps of a dead man. I'd never been in love, yet seeing the drastic measures the sailor had resorted to, I felt his pain all too viscerally. The happiest day of his life became the day his true love rejected him. It must have broken him. The sailor's skeleton still clasped his wedding ring for Abigail. With some unease, I took the ring, promising the skeleton I'd return it to the woman who loved him. With a bit of improvisation, I have fixed the ear trumpet to the phonograph in place of the broken horn. Now, I just needed some music to play. I placed the record into the phonograph. Now I just needed the remaining wedding items before I started it up. I placed the ring on the dresser. There were 3 items left. I placed the wedding cake on the dresser. There were 2 items left. I placed the rose in the vase. There was just 1 item left. I placed the veil on the dresser. The 5 wedding items were ready. It was time to start up the phonograph. Abigail, if you can hear me, try to come back to your final happy moment. I began to feel a change in the room. The air not quite so still, the shadows not quite so dark, and the bride Not quite so distant. I just hoped I'd made a wise decision.
You cannot be allowed to do this. I will stop you. At any cost, I will stop you. I'm free. You came back.
Please don't try to kill me a third time.
Don't worry, Murphy McAllen. I'm not here to do that.
I think I might have caused all of this, but I can explain everything.
I'm afraid to say I think you might be right. But at least there's a chance we can do something to fix it. If only... Oh no. He's coming.
Who's coming?
Rackham, you need to hide. If we're going to fix this, he can't know where you are. Quickly, out on the balcony.
Abigail, where is he?
Where is who?
Don't play dumb with me, little girl. I know about your little game on the riverboat. I know that you've brought that mortal into the house. Where is he?
You know, I haven't seen him.
I know you're lying to me, Abigail, but it makes no matter. There's nothing any mortal can do to stop my plans. The wedding will take place tonight, and this time, you're going to say I do.
I'll never marry you, Rackham.
I'm afraid you won't have a choice.
I've broken free of your spell before. I can do it again.
I'm not so sure that's true. The love spell will take hold again, and every minute you spend broken out of it drains you more and more from ever breaking out of it again. Soon the spell will take hold of you forever, and then you will marry me. The Belmore treasure will be mine.
No.
You had your chance, Abigail. You chose that nightmare. And after tonight, you'll never be able to leave it again.
What a creep.
Abigail, is it safe?
Of course not, but we don't have the luxury of waiting. Come with me, Murphy. I have a plan, and there are some things you really need to know.